我们的 mind 跟我们的 body 是
related
related 的。As long as 你的 Monday mind 一 arise， 你的 body 一定会有
It
reaction。
will create stress and tension without you knowing it, unless you are mindful, aware. It will arise. That's why all this movement become impossible when your mindfulness is very stable, when your sensitivity of mind and your wisdom is already there. So all this, you can feel it one, and it's like, initially it's like, no point, because this is stress. Why do you want to arise it? That's why it cannot arise. Then it will, by itself, it will cease, it will cease, it will cease. Then initially, after you become very skillful, the test will come. Even Ajahn Mahabowa, he wrote in his book, he was tested many times. He used Buddho, the Thai tradition, until the mind is so stable, so calm, so fully aware, throughout the day. Then one day he wrote in his book, this mind become wow. He cannot do anything to it. He lost all the mindfulness, he lost everything. And this Monday mind just do what he like. He cannot do anything. So he tried Buddha many times, not successful. Then finally he go and see Ajahn Man. Ajahn Man tell him, don't be deluded by it. That one is Sankara, not you. Let it be. Like the dog. You tie the dog to a pole. Initially what the dog do? He run around, bark here and there, struggle, but cannot break off. Understand? So what will he do? He bark and run until tired, no more energy. He will sit down there. Understand? So your Monday mind is the same. The more wow it becomes, it loses its momentum very fast because it's dependent originating. Condition arising mind state is not intrinsic within your true mind. So this one is dependent originating. The energy is limited. Understand? As long as this movement uses up the energy, it stops. So like that dog, struggle, because you have mindfulness, you anchor it to it, but you don't go and fix it, understand? You just stay with it. Let it do what it like. You got no craving, no intention to stop it, suppress it, control it, or do anything to it. As long as you don't have any intention to do anything, you will not feed it with any more mental energy. That's how the Sankara will cease. Because it needs energy, thought energy, for it to arise. That's why the third way that the Buddha teach, the 5 ways to overcome unwholesome thought, is the sati way, the meditative way. Just aware, don't do anything. Then everything will settle down. And the analogy that the Buddha gives is the pool of water, where he asked Ananda to collect the water for him. First 2 times Ananda went, the water was milky, because during the daytime, the bullock cart cross it, stir the thing, churn the thing, the water is milky, not conducive for drinking. Then the 3rd time he went at night, he was surprised. The water was clear, because no bullock cart went over. And because of that, the Buddha taught him the Dhamma. What did you learn? He asked Ananda. He said, your mind is just like the pool of water. When you don't create delusion through thinking to stir your mind, when you don't react to sense experience, you do not churn that mind, the murky water will not surface. What is the murky water? The mental defilement. Do you understand? Your like and dislike, your pleasant and unpleasant sense experience and reaction to sense experience. All this will not arise because you just let it be. Then like a glass of water, even got sediment or what, you allow it to settle, the sediment will settle down. Then the top part is clear. Your mind is exactly like that. Before you become enlightened, before you root it out. So all this sediment, they will settle down. The sediment means your defilement, your mental hindrance. You have not rooted them out yet. That's why the Buddha gave the analogy. When there is no condition, you don't stir it, it will appear clear. That's why those who do samatha, concentration, thought-based, one-pointedness, jhana cultivation, or absorption-based cultivation, their mind is like very calm, very still, like no more defilement. But actually they are all suppressed because of the energy field. The 5 mental hindrances are all suppressed. The evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion are all suppressed. They cannot surface because of the energy. So it's just like the water, clear. But the moment you are not in that concentration state, or when you get old, when you cannot have the constant energy to maintain that type of jhanic experience, the concentration, or over time your jhana will deteriorate. Then during that time, especially when you are affected by the First Noble Truth reality, then as your body age, they realize their mind still suffer. Their mind still got problem. They cannot do what they used to do. Then they saw this defilement coming out. They will start to see all this stirring of mind, mental hindrance, all those things surfacing again. Then there is this doubt inside and the fear. That's how they will come to know they have not rooted it out. Those are not the real awakening. It's not born of wisdom. It's born of a conditioned state of mind. So because of that, when the Buddha teach Ananda, he said, as long as you don't stir your mind, means your mind will be at peace. There is clarity. You can see things as they are. That's why when you meditate, you need to have samadhi in the midst of life, daily mindfulness. This samadhi is the one that will prevent you from reacting and stirring your mind. Where samadhi is the collected mind, unwavering mind. So at the moment of sense experience, it's collected and unwavering. That's why it does not stir. It does not react to sense experience. So when your mind is in that state, you can see things as they are to develop the wisdom, the pure perception, the direct seeing, the insight into phenomena. All this can arise. Then you develop the wisdom. Then when the mindfulness becomes so stable with the samadhi, then you can see the actual happening of your mundane mind movement, your sankhara activity movement. You can see all the essential dhamma, the dwelling, paticca samuppada, how you behave and function as a human being, how upon sense door contact, ignorant contact, avijja, paccaya sankhara, how it stirs your mind to react and think. Then how your views, opinion, condition the input of the content of consciousness. Whether wholesome or unwholesome depend on your understanding, your wisdom. If you don't have yoniso manasikara, you will stir, you will react. That's why you create mental hindrance of like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience. If you do it until it becomes habitual, then this is what the Buddha meant by habitual tendency. Anusaya. They become anusaya. Well, throughout the day, in the midst of life, you stir and react to sense experience, creating the first 2 mental hindrances of sensual desire and ill will. If you do it so often, it becomes habitual. Habitual means what? No need to think, no. Immediately you react on. It's so habitual, understand? It's like reflex action, mechanical already. If you are mindful, you can see all this. Your habitual tendency is very strongly ingrained in you before you understand the Dhamma. It's only after you understand the Dhamma, you start to see all this, then you start to understand why living being cannot meditate, why living being cannot develop the understanding, because they lack mindfulness, they lack the ability to see, the sensitivity, the understanding. Then you will also come to realize that this form of mind is not what you think. It's not you. There is no thinker behind the thought. The thought arises through respond to memory. You see them all because you see the formation of thought. You come to know how thought arises. And the thought, initially before the content of consciousness go in, is just the pure consciousness. You can see them like the physics experiment. Upon contact, the consciousness arises. Then when your mindfulness is very stable, you can be at the moment of seeing. Means the pure seeing, the direct seeing. We call it the pure perception. Yeah. Pure perception means at the moment of sense experience, it's just aware, like the Buddha said. In the seeing, it's just a seeing consciousness. It's just the consciousness arise. There is no one to see as yet. Where the content of consciousness haven't gone in. The egoic mind haven't gone in. There is no concept of I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I tactile feel or think. No. Then you can be at the moment of feeling. Where upon contact the seven universal arise. Feeling is one of them. Then feeling can stay as pure feeling. It does not stir and become craving because of your initial wisdom or your understanding. Then it will prompt you. Think is just the way it is. Can't be otherwise. If you react and stir your mind, suffering will follow. You cannot get what you want. If you try to seek condition like that, things will be like that. It can't be otherwise. So all this you will see them in your daily life, in your meditation. Then your wisdom will become different. Then you start to understand. There is no reason to react and stir the mind, to create all this mental hindrance. They will hinder my mind from entering the meditative state or inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness. That's why I can't meditate. So when you start to understand all this, you will know how to relax and let things be. And then you start to see it happening. We let song continue. After how many times? It can tell you.
那个 body 跟那个 mind arise about 2到3次。
2到3次 ，OK。
then 它就 stop 了，过后里面就有一个 message 是讲only wisdom free。
Yeah, only wisdom liberate. Yeah, free.
Only,
Not the energy field, not the concept. That's why you don't go and focus and concentrate and suppress the thought. Prevent it from becoming like heedless. When the mundane mind is heedless, it will become very wild. It will run off and it will do all the funny things. And the more you want to control it, the worse it becomes. You cannot do it. Mahaprabhu also cannot do it. That time his Anapanasati was very strong. And his Buddha is even more strong. He don't even have time for Anapanasati. He just Buddha until very fast. That Buddha is like machine gun. Means aware on that word, the Buddha. It's just like the Mahayana chanting, but the Mahayana chanting slower. Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. So they chant until the awareness and the chanting become one. That's why that faith drives them until the sati come. So Saddha Virya leading to sati, the spiritual faculty develop. And when he continues to stabilize the sati, it becomes samadhi. With sati and samadhi, they start to see things as they are. That's how they can understand the Dhamma. That's how they develop wisdom. Then the 5 spiritual faculties fall into place. That's how the Mahayana chanting develop the practice and the cultivation. So a lot of people who don't understand, they say, the Pure Land chanting, only chant, chant, chant also can become enlightened. Why not? Because when they chant with understanding, they develop the spiritual faculty, then they are mindful. heedful in the state of samadhi in the midst of life, because they all will develop all this. Because after a while, when they become very stable, the chanting also doesn't come out from the mouth anymore. It will appear in the brain there. It will arise somewhere within your nature. Then the awareness is just with it. No one is chanting. Then they really realize there is nobody inside there. It's just awareness. The rest is all dependent originating, the five aggregate of form and mind, nothing else. Then they see the universal characteristic very clearly. Then they will insight into phenomena and awaken. Then they keep on seeing all this movement, sankhara activity, and the mindfulness is so stable, it can be with the moment. It can be with whatever it wants to be. Then it's like a flow. Mindfulness has become a flow. That's how you develop specific phenomena awareness. Then you can live life fully aware throughout the day. Then you need to arise, you arise. You need to use thought, you use thought. But inside, the nature is empty, nothing. That's why you have to reach that stability. Then after that, it's like the whole thing become clear, clearly understood. Then whatever the form and mind do, with the wisdom connected, is no longer deluded. It will understand, and it will just echo and flow. It will not do anything. When it echo and flow, everything become beautiful. Everything just slow down. And everything just stabilize. No agitation, nothing. But initially, as you go through, when you develop the understanding, you continuously see them. But every time you see them, you know what to do. Every time you see them, you know what to do. That's how your mind stabilizes. Your sati stabilizes. Daily mindfulness stabilizes. Then later on, when sati sampajana become very clear, you will have sense restraint. That is the beginning of enlightenment. Sense restraint means you cannot break your precept anymore. Because your senses also, you can exercise restraint through wisdom and understanding. Means you cannot be drawn by the senses. There is no more delusion. So because of that, the cultivation becomes so different. It transforms itself. So with the with the sense restraint, that form and mind is capable of arising the three way of right conduct: right speech, right thought, and right action. Automatic. No need to practice right thought, right speech, right action. No? Because with the mindfulness and the understanding, you are incapable of evil, where the sense restraint is there. Then the three way of right conduct will surface after you cultivate Noble Eightfold Path in the midst of life. Then you will know how to express it. Because with wisdom comes true virtue. That's why without wisdom, the virtue is not the real one. So when the virtue arises through wisdom and understanding, you become very different. That's why the three way of right conduct will surface. That is step 7 of the Avijja Sutta. So when you are step 6 and 7, which means you already awaken at least a Sotapan, if you have the past cultivation to support you, you can become a Sakadagami also. Then if you want to go further and become Anagami or Arahant, you have to cultivate the 4 foundations of mindfulness. The 4 foundations of mindfulness go beyond contemplative wisdom, go beyond the first and second turning wisdom. This Satipatthana, the 4 foundations, if you read the opening statement, it always stated, after overcoming covetousness and grief, then only you cultivate mindfulness of kaya, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of citta, and mindfulness of Dhamma. Why did the Buddha put that? Because step 6 and 7 will allow you to overcome covetousness and grief. Without step 6 and 7, covetousness and greed will still be there. So when you have sense restraint, means you already have the stability of precept. You cannot break your precept anymore. Then the three way of right conduct can only come after you have cultivated the right view leading to right thought, right speech, and right action. Then you can express them. Then for you to have that type of mind, you must have the initial wisdom. Otherwise you cannot have sense restraint. You cannot have daily mindfulness. Okay.